Have you heard this idea that you are not your thoughts? It's something that people who meditate talk about, and about your mind and your thoughts and how you are not your thoughts. So I've heard this and I was like, well, if I'm not my thoughts, who am I? That doesn't make any sense. So I want to tell you how I was able to turn this around and understand what people are saying when they say you're not your thoughts. Thoughts just happen. They just do. They pop into your head. They're totally weird and they are not you. And you have about 70 to 80,000 thoughts every day, and 90% of those are the same thoughts you had yesterday, right? So we cycle and we think these things all day long, every day, the same kind of stuff. Here's an example of you are not your thoughts. So I was thinking about my newsletter that I sent about the phone box and putting all of your devices into a box. And when they're in that box, you can't pick them up and check your texts or Twitter or Instagram or whatever. So the idea is that you just have some time that you're dedicating to be with the people you love, or maybe you're eating dinner and you don't want to be checking your phone while you're eating dinner. So anyway, you put your stuff in the phone box. And so I was thinking about this newsletter, I'm kind of writing it in my head, and this thought popped up and it said, well, what if someone on your newsletter knows that, you're watching Gossip Girl reruns on Netflix and you put all of your devices in a box, and if they just break into your house, they can steal your box and now they'll have all your devices. What? That's such a weird thought. I would never think that. That's so weird. It just popped into my head and I was like, no, that's not me. The people on my newsletter are awesome. They would never break into my house and steal my phone box. So it's such a great example of how weird thoughts are and how they just happen. They just pop into your head and you can't really do anything about them. You can just say, okay, thanks for stopping by. That was funny. Move along. Who are you if you're not your thoughts? You are the person who observes those thoughts. That's who you are. You're the one who sees them. You are in between all of those thoughts. That's you. Wow, that's so weird, right? So here's another way to think of it. When you're meditating, even if you do it just for a couple minutes, you can think about a crystal blue lake. And you just go to this lake and it's crystal. You can see everything in the lake. The water is crystal blue and you can see right through it. And you can see all the little fish. Well, the fish are your thoughts and you are the water. So if you're meditating, a lot of times, we might think, well, I shouldn't have any thoughts. I should push those thoughts out. I should put them in the trash can, like all of those things. But if you're in a lake and you're sailing along, you wouldn't punch a fish or, you wouldn't do anything to the fish. And the fish is your thought. So all you need to do is say, hey, thanks for coming. It's nice to see you. But right now, I'm just going to sit here in the water and I don't really want to see any fish right now. So just kind of scoot along. Thanks. And just let those fish go. And if one swims by, you can just go, oh, there's a fish, and let it keep swimming. And you don't have to have any judgments about the fish for showing up, or the thoughts for showing up during your meditation. So I thought that was just the coolest idea, that you are not your thoughts. Thoughts happen. Just let them happen, acknowledge them, and maybe say thanks, and just let them move along. Just think of it that way. And remember that you are the person who sees those thoughts. And in that quiet space, when you're meditating, you're the one who sees the thoughts go by. You're the water, you're the lake. So I hope that was helpful. I hope that kind of untangled that idea for you of you are not your thoughts and thoughts happen. So that was fun, and I'll talk to you soon.